Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's your friendly neighborhood Pokeprof, back once again with Let's Play Psychonauts, with just one small tiny little issue. The simple fact that I was being a bit of an idiot, and thanks to a recording setup that I had for something else that I was doing, ended up being, well, bad for when I went to record this particular episode of Psychonauts. As such, instead of getting my audio and the game's audio, I got this.
Yeah, I just think it's great that you took that ass-kicking I handed to you and turned that defeat into something positive. Like gardening.
Thankfully, this being just a collection episode and nothing too major, I didn't see the need for much other than a voiceover. Thankfully, this won't happen in the future. So onward to the completion stuff.
Hey there, kid. What are you doing back here?
Well, you know, it's always good to come back to the stage once in a while to make sure you still know how to act. So why isn't the big Bonita number playing?
Oh, Bonita's gone.
What? Oh, no.
Oh, no. It's good. We had an amazing 60-week run, 3 sold-out performances a day, and now she's just on a quick vacation before taking the show on the road. So the company and I are just practicing some of the old material to get ready for the tour. Well, let me know if you want to run some lines or something.
Okay.
I love how in the span of maybe, 2-3 levels, they've had a 60-week tour here. But yeah, other than collecting the figments, there wasn't much left here in Gloria's, other than seeing a small cutscene, which is always enjoyable. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for Black Velvetopia, which I'll get into after the cutscene.
Hey, great to see you guys all together.
Not now, Rasputin. There is a lot of money on the table.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna hang out for a bit. Is that Bull?
Long gone, my friend. The place is yours, if you'll excuse me.
Okay. Hey, great hand. Good thing we found all those queens, eh?
Not much to do.
I love how Rasputin's still a little troll here. But yeah, as they said, Elodio is not here, so you actually got free access to the level, which makes it easier to complete in one way. The thing that doesn't make it easier to complete, well, is the figments. For you see, we knew where the last tag and emotional baggage was, so that was easy enough. But when it comes to the figments of your imagination in this particular level, they are colored in such a way, and this level itself is colored in such a way that, while beautiful to behold, makes it a hell and a handbasket and a half to find everything. Especially in the case of this painting, where you actually have to go and put up the window to get access to a figment. Though I've already collected it on this particular clip that I have, yes, you actually have to do that, and I think this is not the only instance in which you have to. And as you can see here with some of the figments, how they are so barely visible and how they're colored so much like the rest of the level, you actually think it's not a figment to collect, but just, background decoration. Spent over an hour trying to find one piece that I found, just because I thought it was a collectible finally. But this is also where we find the vault, is where we find all those rustlers hanging out, which, honestly, before I did a 100% of this game, I never knew about, so at least that's something good. It also makes it a little bit more saddening to see what Edgar's relationship was before his girlfriend met the prep guy, and it makes me wonder just what caused her to leave Edgar. It could have been just the fact that he was a prep guy and just pretty boyish. It just isn't right in my opinion. But it's probably one of the more greatly unsolved things of Black Velvetopia here. And I will say that when I did this original recording, I went on a good long rant with me just raging about this. I'm a little sad that I ended up screwing up the audio so where you can't hear it, but needless to say, it was basically how I was comparing this to Mia's mind and how I felt that out of the two, Black Velvetopia is probably the worst level out of the bunch in terms of trying to 100% everything. But other than that, we really all just had Waterloo World left to go.
Cheer up, Fred. You won the war.
I know, but now I'm bored.
Mind if I hang out?
Sure. Just don't expect me to be very entertaining.
Fred's very interesting, I gotta say. But yeah, same thing when it came to the emotional baggage as far as, you know, the different worlds. Is really the emotional baggage here. We knew where it was. It was just so out of the way when I was close to finishing the level that I skipped it. And I forget why I paused right there when we were talking about it, but oh well. I will say that while this level also was a bit of a butt in terms of finding all the figments, it's nowhere near as bad as Black Velvetopia was. But while I was doing that, we ended up leveling up enough to get the Sensory Scramble, which makes Confusion last twice as long. Pretty useful because it makes Confusion actually a very powerful ability. And really, this part here, I'm just showing the fact that I'm buying a bunch of Psycores, because, well, with all the levels completed, we now have the capability, well, almost all the levels, barring the final one, we finally have the capability of turning all those cobwebs that we've collected into Psycards, and then use every single Psycard we found, turn them in with the cores to finally get a bunch of levels ups. I think this is where like a good 10, if not 15 levels in the game actually come from. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, almost, I was about 13 levels if my memory serves me correctly. And this is also the first time I think we really get to see the Cobweb Machine in action, because I don't know if we actually saw it before other than Crawler just telling us about it. But it really goes to show that just how far we're in the game and if we're going and completing stuff like this. And honestly, this right here is just kind of silly to see. You'll see in just a second here. Just watch the core go in. And then challenge marker after challenge marker after challenge marker just coming out and leveling us up. And that also gets us a couple of Psi upgrade powers. We now have infinite ammo for our Psi Blast and Confusion abilities, which makes farming them from the enemies non-existent anymore, because we could just spam them whenever we want. One of the better upgrades this late in the game. Normally this would be reserved for cheat codes, I find, but hey, Psychonauts gives it to you right off the bat. And we also get Psychic Regeneration, which essentially means that we will now regenerate health, basically like a little mini and slightly horrible Wolverine. Not the most useful ability considering especially how much health we have, but I find it can be useful in certain situations. With that said though, that's actually about it. Other than the final level, there is literally nothing else we can do within the world of Psychonauts. It's been a long ride, but it's soon gonna come to a close. We're gonna be taking the fight directly to Coach Oleander, and hopefully saving all of us in this camp, and hopefully the world. We're gonna be talking to Crawler and heading back. Until next time, my folks, in which, hopefully, we'll end this game.